something that's very, very important to me and address something. If you've been here for the past couple months or watched the live streams, you have seen me on commentary. Gnarly Charlie's looking a little different, going through some changes. Thank you. And I just wanted to address this, and it's really important to me that I come out here and say thank you to each and every single person here. I told you, I promised I'd be quick, but thank you. I wanted to come out here and thank each and every person here because it's been said before, but I'm going to say it again. SoCal Pro Wrestling, this isn't just a wrestling promotion. It's not just fans. It's not just a bunch of sweaty people throwing themselves in the ring. It is a family. And I wanted to come out here and thank each and every one of my family members for giving me the opportunity and the platform to stand in this ring and be 100% myself. And I wanted to thank you for not just giving me the opportunity, but every single person in the back the opportunity to live out this dream called professional wrestling. Now the month of June is all about pride, and I just wanted to say thank you so much because it's because of every single person here that I am proud to stand in this ring and still call myself Gnarly. I'm proud to be not only Charlie, but now Charlotte officially. And it's because of every single person here that I am proud to say that we are SoCal Pro Wrestling!
and Envy Dudes joining us at SoCal Pro Title versus Career. That's what it's all about. The SoCal Pro Heavyweight Championship, the gold that is held by the mock ass-kicking machine Mathias against the career of the Black Rose, Dizz. Our SoCal Pro Heavyweight Championship holder Mathias not even allowing the show to get started proper.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SoCal Pro Wrestling! We're on the heels of possibly one of the most important matches in the history of SoCal Pro. That will be our main event later this evening. But first, let's kick things hot with the opening contest scheduled for one fall, which is for the SoCal Pro Golden State Championship. Introducing first, the challenger, being led to the ring by representing the Shady Boys from the shadiest part of town, weighing in at 200 pounds, after lunch, the Highland Victor, Red Williams!
Charlie, joined once again by my compatriot in commentary, Andy. Nice to have you back.
Charlotte, what is up? Thank you so much for coming out, literally coming out here at SoCal Pro. And a very happy Pride Month to you, and a very happy night here as SoCal Pro kicks off. There is the bell. We are underway with our opening contest. A unique start to the match, or a unique start to the show rather. It is a Golden State Championship match with the Radiant son, Jake Redondo, defending his first match against the ever so elusive Red Williams.
Elusive is the proper word. Red Williams, while definitely having the size advantage, also has that elusive capabilities, also has that also has that ring awareness, that presence to break that hold by our Golden State champion, Jake Redondo.
Ring awareness indeed, representing the Shady Boys is Red Morgan, being led to the ring, of course, by, Red Williams being led to the ring by Remy Morgan. The Shady Boys from the shadiest part of town. Obvious how they got that name. As Red Williams taunting the Radiant Son, Jake Redondo, as Jake Redondo will have none of it. Back into the lockup. Hammerlock into the headlock goes Jake Redondo, the Radiant Son. Pulling of the hair, of course, is we know the Shady Boys to do. They are not necessarily what we would call the fairest players in the game by any means.
Definitely not the fairest players of the game, and very dangerous of Red Williams to employ that tactic since he has far more hair than Jake Redondo. If he should choose, might just pull the anti-quote bad animatronic hair right out of his face.
As Red Williams is known to this commentary team as a broken down Pirates of the Caribbean animatronic. Nevertheless, a very formidable opponent. Jake Redondo has his work cut out for him as the up and over into the drop toe hold is Jake Redondo. Nice swift up and over kick, but to the side of the face goes the Radiant Son, in control here in his first ever championship defense.
Speaking of animatronics, getting in the ring with Jake Redondo is scarier than at Five Nights at Freddy Fazbear's.
Almost all the way to the outside goes Jake Redondo, blocking that punch and a nice counter of his own. Ascending now to the top rope, not necessarily a place you want to be with Remy Morgan on the outside. Going in perhaps a double axe handle with a duck there goes Red Williams, capitalizing on that. Again, the Shady Boys, not strangers to capitalizing on unique situations.
Not strangers capitalizing on unique situations, especially in unique situations they make themselves. As you saw Remy Morgan on the outside, that's the benefit of having your manager or tag team partner ringside. While not technically in the match, definitely can prove a fine distraction.
And make no mistake about it, the Shady Boys, even if they're not in the match, they are in the match, as Remy Morgan is no stranger to SoCal Pro either. Red Williams, Remy Morgan, the Shady Boys, listen to that chop as this crowd is erupting in these woos. Oh, perhaps Jake Redondo now having his turn. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, perhaps going in for one more.
And if that was an eruption, I think we just heard Pompeii from our crowds.
As Red Williams now back in control, one more chop to the chest as Jake Redondo goes down. I will say that Jake Redondo is a very, although inexperienced, an incredibly formidable opponent.
It's hard to be very formidable when you have someone else's shins across your spine.
Not to mention there's always that extra part to the match as we mentioned, Remy Morgan on the outside, now going in for a choke. And he better break this. He is not going to win a championship that's for sure. Distracting the referee now. What's going on now with Remy Morgan? And that's why they call him the Shady Boy, Charlotte. There's absolutely no fair games with these gentlemen at all.
Well, you know what gets rid of the shade is the radiance of our Golden State champion, Jake Redondo. Like you mentioned, he hasn't exactly well into his reign as Golden State champion, but he's already proven himself to be more than well competent in every outing that he's been in the SoCal professional wrestling ring.
Obviously having a lot of help from his father. Very unique maneuver there by Red Williams. Going in now for the cover. 1, 2. Only a count of 2 as Red Williams is not anywhere near securing that belt as of right now. Nevertheless, he is going to wear down Jake Redondo some more, no doubt.
Absolutely, that unique offense. As we see here again, this unique hold, stretching not just the spine, but the quads, the hamstrings, and the shoulder of Jake Redondo, really just punishing the entire body.
This crowd is ever so closer behind the Radiant Son, going in for the pin, not so quite, as only a count of 1, but of course going in for the closed fist, as only the Shady Boys know how to do, capitalize and cheat every single way you possibly can, as this crowd lets Red Morgan know exactly what they think of him.
I don't think they like him.
I would wager to say that Red Williams is not a favorable opponent. I call him Red Morgan all the time because you never know who's in there. You know, I mean, the Shady Boys, they're interchangeable, for goodness sakes.
Oh, when you said who was in there. I thought you meant his beard. I think he's got at least 3 birds nested in there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's
We'll
feeding
know
the popcorn in between rounds, and yeah.
We'll know come winter.
As they trade slaps, very insulting slaps to the face, turning into punches, closed fists, as the Radiant Sun takes advantage, all to be stopped by a knee to the gut. Belly to back perhaps. Oh, nice reversal there by the Radiant Sun. Again, we talked about that ring awareness by Jake Redondo. Getting, of course, all that from his father, Jason, going in for these punches. We've seen this before. Big windup back to the elbow, hitting the ropes. Ducking under the boot. Nice enziguri. As Redondo back in there, one more belly to back. All the way down goes Red Williams as Jake Redondo fires up this crowd.
A radiant Blue Thunder bomb from Jake Redondo. I don't know how many times you've seen his dad Jason do that. I think that's all him.
Taking out.
Speaking of all him, I think Remy got all of him on his jaw.
We definitely want to take out that outside interference. Beautiful crossbody into the cover. 1, 2. Only a count of 2, but ever so closer as Jake Redondo inches himself closer and closer to victory. And that's what you have to do. You got to figure that outside interference is always going to be prevalent on his mind, and you got to figure he's doing everything he possibly can to get rid of that outside interference is Jake Redondo.
Absolutely, and what a way to do that. A size 8 to the mush will absolutely take care of that outside interference, as Remy Morgan hasn't gotten up yet.
That'll be Remy Morgan is on the outside, still seeing stars, as Red Williams tries to do everything he can to compensate for that, and that looks like he is a nice knee to the face, and that'll definitely clean your clock. Down like a sack of potatoes goes Red Williams. This might be it. 1, 2.
That is a lot. I've said it before. That is a lot of bearded dude coming from the sky.
Red Williams inching himself closer to victory as well. Folks, do not go anywhere. We still have an incredible program to come here. We have, of course, our main event, which could possibly be the last match of a very respected performer here, Dizz, where it also could be the end of the title reign for the very young Mathias.
A lot riding on the line in our main event. Even more throughout the show this evening. We've got title matches. We've got a huge 6-man just before our intermission. And of course, we've got a shady boy arguing with our illustrious referee, Andy. And a giant powerbomb from Red Williams.
Distraction, distraction, distraction. That's the name of the game. Into the cover again. 2. Only a count of 2, and that's what we talk about, the tenacity by the Radiant Sun. That's why this crowd absolutely loves him. It doesn't matter. It's now 2-on-1, and the Radiant Sun still kicking in there, still hanging on, holding on to that championship belt for the good of the fans here at SoCal Pro.
Remy Morgan possibly giving Red Williams some battle tactics, some advice, some grooming.
Well, he definitely can do that from the floor. He doesn't need to be on the apron. Of course, that's what he's doing. But look now, what is he doing?
He's taking off his boot, and he's going to use that as a weapon.
As a distraction, the referee is distracted. Remy Morgan going in for the boot, missing with the boot. Big boot to the face of Remy Morgan. Big boot to the face of Red Williams as Jake Redondo signals this could be it. Up and down he goes, ladies and gentlemen. That's why he's called the Radiant Sun. Into the cover. 2, 3, and that's over.
Here is your winner, and still SoCal Pro Golden State Champion, the Radiant Sun, Jake Redondo.
Let's take one more look. Here's this huge finishing move by Jake Redondo, bringing him up, bringing him 180 degrees and right down to the back. You can count to 6, and then Red Williams ain't kicking out of that. Red Williams, an amazing competitor. The Shady Boys, an amazing tag team. But I think it's proven that our Golden State champion, Jake Redondo, is no one to be messed around with and is a force to be reckoned with. Redondo effectively fighting two competitors in his first Golden State Championship defense.
All right, folks, as always, we have an amazing merch table. Don't forget to take out your merch table. We'll go over some details a little bit later on. Of course, some details of the next event is also to come, but now let's kick things off with the next contest scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Dimension 666, weighing in at 183 pounds, the headbanging horror show, Araxiel! Weighing in at 300 Stardust, Dynamite, Pegasus!
Some amazing Lucha Libre action here, as we've got two of Southern California's own luchadors right here. Araxiel, the headbanging horror show, Dynamite Pegasus, and all we're waiting for is our illustrious referee, Andy, to ring the bell.
I'm ready.
Ring the bell!
Let's do it!
Absolutely a non-title defense, but there's more than titles in professional wrestling. There's pride, there's the fans. And Dynamite Pegasus, just beginning his career here at SoCal Pro Wrestling, absolutely looking to make an impact against a SoCal Pro Wrestling staple, Araxiel.
Araxiel, again, no stranger to SoCal Pro, is a former mainstay here at SoCal Pro, has not been here very consistently as of late, nevertheless has not missed a beat. As Araxiel is a very, again, we talk about formidable opponents, been here for years, been doing a lot of damage in those years. From Dimension 666, Araxiel sure know his stuff. And Dynamite Pegasus, as well respected as he is, let's not make no mistake about it, he is incredibly inexperienced when it comes to that ring. And I would say it would be foolish to not bet on somebody like the headbanging horror show, Araxiel.
Well, far be it from me to be foolish, but I've got my money on Dynamite Pegasus because he's got some offense that is absolutely unique and absolutely comes out of nowhere with a head scissors.
Well, the more and more you talk, the more and more you may be right, as Dynamite Pegasus now taking control of that big kangaroo dropkick. Down goes The headbanging horror show is Dynamite Pegasus. Again, a crowd favorite here from Mount Olympus, I'm told.
Big crossbody to the outside.
This crossbody is a shoulder into the gut. Now looking to take advantage. Nice sabat kick to the side of the face. Ascending up to the top rope, closer and closer to Mount Olympus. We might see him fly here as a big crossbody over the top, into the cover, 2.
That horse really does have wings.
Only a count of 2. The Dynamite Pegasus flying as true as his namesake. To think this is only match 2 of an incredible card that we have moving into today's festivities. Kitchen sink now, down goes Dynamite Pegasus. The headbanging horror show Araxiel now back on top.
And like you mentioned, Araxiel has been a mainstay here in SoCal Pro for many years, so he's absolutely going to look to control the pace of the match, to slow it down and work at his pace as opposed to Dynamite Pegasus's.
100%. Pegasi.
That horse.
That horse with the wings. The TriStar logo, really. As Dynamite Pegasus is not in a formidable position. Again, now we talked about that experience from Araxiel, showing that right now as he goes in methodically with the elbows, the strikes, the chops into the corner. And if you'll notice something about Araxiel, he's very smart with his moves. Always sticks very close to his opponent, does not do anything too fancy because he wants to keep everybody, look at that, as close to the possible, only a count of 2, as close to the possibility of being pinned as possible, which is why Araxiel doesn't necessarily go all the way to the top rope, does a bunch of flying moves, etc. Always goes in, striking distance, always being very careful, methodical. That's why they call him the headbanging horror.
I thought it was because of the horns.
Well, you know what, I might have to leave this job. I was obviously ill-informed. I'm going to have to fire Greg. He's my writer. Greg, what's this paper you gave me here? Araxiel now back on top, sending in.
I love you, Greg.
Sending in Dynamite Pegasus. Big. As Araxiel looks to the crowd after that big back body drop.
The second of the match, and every time that Dynamite Pegasus leaves his feet and crashes to the mat, it's him getting farther and farther away from the victory, from Olympus, from walking out with his head held high, but he still keeps getting up, which is admirable.
Admirable indeed. Again, he has the heart of gold.
The heart of a horse and the brain of a bird.
I don't know if that was a compliment or not, but that was good. So far, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. As the Dynamite Pegasus now back in control. Front face lock into the rear chin lock. And striking now to the headbanging horror show. I'm not entirely sure if that's necessarily the best method here, as Araxiel's nevertheless staggered when he gets sent into the buckle. Followed up by a big line into the corner. Shot off to the other buckle reversal. In goes Pegasus, shoulder to the gut. As Araxiel sets him up here for a neck breaker, down goes Pegasus.
And you brought up a really good point, the juxtaposition between the 2 different styles. Dynamite Pegasus has absolutely been playing to the crowd, doing the more exciting offense, while Araxiel is just staying grounded, just hitting him with no-nonsense power moves.
Araxiel once again back on top as he controlled most of this match already. Again, it was going to be expected as Pegasus gotten a few good shots in there. But again, we're talking about this experience, not necessarily brain versus brawn, but it's experience versus inexperience. Maybe perhaps the risk taker with the one who was way more grounded. And usually in matches like this, the one who's more grounded, the one who's more methodical, the one that puts more thought process into it, is usually the one that's closer to victory. But of course, anything can happen here at SoCal Pro, as we have definitely seen in the recent months.
And it looks like Araxiel's trying to rip the mask off of Dynamite Pegasus.
Absolute insult. You do not do that. As masks are very sacred. And once you lose it, it's gone. You can ask people like Fidel Bravo. And of course, that frustration is now showing in. If he can't get that mask, perhaps he can down punish him as we now go into an armbar. from Araxiel, playing that thing like a guitar. Rock on indeed. Again, Araxiel getting into the head of Dynamite Pegasus, and perhaps in the head of these fans here at SoCal Pro.
Definitely not a guitar solo that Dynamite Pegasus is fond of. I think he's more fond of like a lyre.
As this crowd now chants Pegasus into the buckle. In goes Araxiel. Big line there, as much as the crowd always helps as much as humanly possible. But again, Pegasus is definitely beat down. He is worn here. And perhaps out of gas as he goes for the up and over. Maybe I was speaking too soon. Nice head scissors.
That's that offense that I mentioned earlier, that offense that comes out of nowhere just when you think Dynamite Pegasus has nothing left to give. He digs down deep with another big forearm.
Digging down deep, continuing as Dynamite Pegasus back on control of this match. Missing that line though, perhaps going for a crossbody. No, into the second. Big drop kick off the second rope. Can he capitalize here into the cover? Only a count of 2. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this could go either way. I am very surprised that Dynamite Pegasus has held on as long as he has against Araxiel, but now signaling to the crowd, perhaps looking to put the nail into the coffin of the Headbanging Horror Show.
Dynamite Pegasus looks like he's gonna climb Mount Olympus, going up to the top rope. I think we're looking for a super bad time for Dynamite Pegasus.
Super indeed. Unfortunately, as Araxiel sends Pegasus to the glue factory, I was gonna make a joke about blue balls, but I think we'll continue.
And the show continues here at SoCal Pro Wrestling Title versus Career, as Araxiel has absolutely gotten himself into a more dominant position, as I think he's looking for the spear that has ended so many matches.
And that'll do it here. And it's over.
Here is your winner, Araxiel!
One more time, we see Dynamite Pegasus almost broken in half by that spear by the Headbanging Horror Show, Araxiel. And Araxiel now adding injury to insult. As the bell has already rung, but Araxiel continuing the punishment of Dynamite Pegasus. Absolutely showing just zero respect for his opponent. We saw him try to rip the mask off of Dynamite Pegasus earlier. And unfortunately, Dynamite Pegasus left lying, but who wouldn't be after that blatant attack after the match had already been won? Dynamite Pegasus showing why the crowds do love him. Even after that brutal beatdown, still able to pick himself up, denying the help of our illustrious referee, Andy, and walking out on his own 2 feet, on his own power. Once again, absolutely uncalled for actions by Araxiel.
You're drunk. You're not drunk. Well, then I'm not drunk enough. All right. All right, folks, let's keep things going with the following contest, which is a 6-man tag team contest. Don Caliente, the Neon Phenomenon, Anthony Idol, and the mighty Tortuga!
Islas, Gunjack, and Fidel Bravo not even waiting for the bell as they've already begun the attack on the team of Tortuga, Anthony Idol, and Don Caliente. As the underhanded tactics that we've seen before of Eddie Islas, this bad attitude continues as he seems to have made himself de facto leader. As it seems the turns have tabled on our team of three dastardly, dastardly dummies. As huge body slams aplenty. As now Eddie Islas is in the proverbial no man's land as he gets out of there very quickly. Gunjack now tagged in. And that is a whole lot of men standing across the ring at Gunjack. And it looks like Tortuga is the legal man, as perhaps this match can officially get underway. And a huge slap by onto the chest of Gunjack by Tortuga. This feud between Eddie Islas and Tortuga, now it's boiled over into a six-man tag match. Is a huge atomic drop by the mighty Tortuga as he tags in Don Caliente. Don Caliente with another atomic drop. Just mocking Gunjack. And the generation that appears he has lost. As we see Don Caliente with a fiery worm and an elbow drop onto Gunjack.
I'm not sure what I missed, but those guys came in like a bat out of hell. I land on the ring thing. I got a bruise. I got a bruise, Charlotte. I got a bruise.
Oh, okay, don't worry. I have my phone. We'll call 911. We'll get you the ambulance.
Boy, if you were a man, I'd beat your ass. All right, folks, we are here. Oh my goodness, we are here. That'll wake you up and take the wind out of your sails as the neon phenomenon going right into Gunjack.
Speaking of ass whooping, Anthony Idol bringing a whole Idolfornia-size ass whooping onto Gunjack as Pegasus Rex slams Gunjack into the mat.
Beautiful power slam goes the neon phenomenon down like a sack of potatoes with that gigantic elbow. You're talking about 300 pounds of muscular tension, making the tag into the former SoCal Pro heavyweight champion, the mighty Tortuga.
That goes back into what I was saying, this war that we've had between Tortuga and Eddie Islas over the last couple months boiled over into a six-man tag team match, as Tortuga and Eddie have definitely fallen into the role of de facto leaders of their respective squad.
Absolutely is. Fidel Bravo and Eddie Islas seem to be very well versed, and they could be twins, honestly, just by how disgusting they both are in that ring. Gunjack has a little bit more of my respect. Nevertheless, respect isn't getting you far as Don Caliente takes advantage. But that's what I was talking about there, is Eddie Islas, of course, always beloved by the SoCal Pro crowd, doing everything he can to earn their respect.
That's very interesting that you said Fidel and Eddie could be related. I didn't know sleaze was genetic.
As Gunjack now taking it to Don Caliente, Caliente fighting back. But of course, Gunjack just, wow! That was absolute nasty. Hangman goes to the throat of Caliente into the code breaker.
And it appears that our referee, Andy, is following the mindset of just let them fight. As Fidel, Eddie, and Gunjack bend the rules to the point of breaking here in this competition.
Our referee trying her best to absolutely keep as much order as humanly possible, but nevertheless, we do have a little bit of surprise concerning our referee. That will be announced here very shortly after this match. I have the privilege of being known. There's a little bit of a secret that's going on about the next show. We're going to go ahead and talk about that after the right before we go into intermission here. So for all of you that are live streaming at home, please keep an eye out for that. As Eddie Islas, of course, again, as being the most respected person in the game, choking the life out of Don Caliente. All he wants to do is dance. I mean, how can you hate this guy? All he wants to do is dance.
Unfortunately, he picked the wrong industry because in that ring, dancing comes second to ass whooping.
And ass whooping is definitely Eddie Islas' forte. Eddie Islas is, you can tell, it's trimmed down a little bit. He's actually lost a lot of that. Look at that. Again, we talk about sleaze bags, and I don't think anybody in that ring can hold a candle to Fidel El Bravo Bravo.
I think this is the longest I've ever seen El Bravo in a ring. Usually he's running away on the outside.
Unless he's on top, of course, and capitalizing on other people's work. As Anthony Idol comes in to try to break things up, obviously to the detriment, as the back of Andy is turned. Fidel Bravo taking it to Don Caliente. Caliente, nevertheless, trying to fight back with those strikes to the gut. With a nice swift kick to the pelvis goes Fidel Bravo, shooting into the ropes. Off there, ducking the line, Insaguri.
You saw Fidel Bravo bring up his hands, try to block it, but I still think it caught right across that orbital bone.
The Mighty Tortuga coming in to make that statement, that ball of fire, as we know the Mighty Tortuga to be, is not the champion for nothing, as down goes Fidel Bravo, perhaps seeing what we call Tres Amigos. There's number 2, as a tribute to the big guy above. Number 3, the Mighty Tortuga back on top here for his team at SoCal Pro. Going in for that splash, obviously robbed of that from Eddie Islas and Gunjack to the outside.
As we see Eddie Islas and Gunjack putting the boots to Tortuga, who is the legal man at this point.
So much confusion. Andy obviously is a little bit over her head now, and who could blame her? It's difficult to see what all is going on. There's one person in that ring.
She's just one woman in a striped shirt. She can't keep all this bedlam in order.
Interestingly enough, next to the person with the yellow stripe down his back is Fidel Bravo Bravo. In goes the Mighty Tortuga, kick to the face. As Bravo going in. Again, we talked about losing his mask. You see the unique gear that Fidel Bravo wore to the ring. It was his former Espiritu mask that he hasn't lost. Nevertheless, he's showing everybody as almost a shell of his former self. He was much more liked back then. Not that he cares now. Only a count of 1 is Eddie Islas trying to capitalize on the Mighty Tortuga. Of course, you're not going to be able to put down that Mighty Turtle that easily.
If you want to talk about shell of them former selves, Eddie Islas, who used to be the straight edge street king, acted more like the straight edge devil over the past couple months, turning his back on Tortuga, his best friend, turning his back on his fans. Eddie Islas has just become a husk of dignity that he used to have.
Eddie Islas could not be happier, again lining himself up with the likes of people like Gunjack, who is now just taking it to Tortuga, and of course Fidel Bravo. Into the cover goes Gunjack. But we talk about that experience or lack thereof as Gunjack pins Tortuga way too close to the ropes. But you see that even though he was so close to the ropes, the Mighty Tortuga didn't even think to grab them. That's what kind of formidable opponent the Mighty Tortuga is.
Gunjack going up to the second rope, looking for the big elbow drop right across the shoulder blades of Tortuga.
Very nicely done. As a snap to the neck. The drop kick goes now to the face of Tortuga. Back into the cover now. Now to the count of two. Only got the count of two, but make no mistake about it, he got a count of one last time, inching himself closer and closer to helping his team secure the victory here tonight at SoCal Pro.
It's definitely a marathon, not a sprint, but you can see Anthony Idol and Don Caliente itching to get in. But the team of Fidel, Bravo, Eddie, Islas, and Gunjack have done an amazing job cutting that ring in half and not letting Tortuga get any reprieve.
And this is the thanks of very skilled tag team wrestling. Believe it or not, we have Fidel Bravo, who used to be, wow, unbelievable.
Skill can only get you so far when you're against the might of Tortuga.
And as I was saying, Fidel Bravo used to be tag team partners with SoCal Crazy of all people. Learned a lot from that, and unfortunately tossed everything good about it away and became what you see before you. And obviously it's working for him, which is fine, but he's the one who has to sleep at night, not me, obviously. Into the tags now. Big comes in, the Anthony Idol. The Neon Phenomenon with severe bionic elbows. Look at him now, fired up, and you're not going to stop that monster at this pace. No how, no way.
The All-American elbows across the head, but I guess teaming up on the big man is absolutely a strategy.
As they both hit the rope, caught with a double choke slam. What's going to see here?
Goozle.
Up and down they go. The Neon Phenomenon, Anthony Idol, is on fire, ladies and gentlemen.
Speaking of on fire, it looks like Eddie Islas is about to get burned.
Eddie Islas probably made the simplest mistake you do not want to make in a match like this. Big press slam over the top. Dumped him out like yesterday's garbage. The Neon Phenomenon sealing in all but a pinfall for his team here tonight.
I think you're right, Andy. I think getting thrown out of the ring 9 feet in the air is definitely a mistake. As we see.
With Anthony Idol, now he's in the ring by himself. You got Caliente fighting it out with Gunjack. It looks like Eddie Islas booked it to the back with the Mighty Tortuga.
He's gone. He's gone.
Oh, with the Mighty Tortuga back up. Down goes Gunjack. This could be it here. 1, 2, into the 3. It's over.
Here are your winners, the team of Don Caliente, the Mighty Tortuga, and the Neon Phenomenon, Anthony Idol!
And once again, see that big driver from Anthony Idol. Just dropping Gunjack from about 7.5 feet in the air. We've seen him put away so many people with that maneuver. The Idol driver. And I don't even know if Gunjack knows what state he's in. As we see Anthony Idol and Don Caliente, I think we're gonna see if a turtle can boogie. And as my commentary partner Andy said about Don Caliente, he just wants to dance. And we've seen Don Caliente and Anthony Idol team up before, and we see the turtle doing the worm! And I thought the match itself was insane. Islas is gone. I heard his car leave. And Don Caliente, Anthony Idol. And Eddie Islas with another sneak attack from behind. And Eddie Islas stole the mask of Tortuga. And look, he just laughing, absolutely cackling that he just stole the mask from Tortuga. And I mentioned the war between the best friends, ex-best friends of Eddie Islas and Tortuga. And I don't know how this is going to end, but I do know that this is just getting started. As we mentioned before, the mask is sacred in Lucha Libre. The mask is the ultimate form of disrespect if snatching that mask, and Eddie Islas knows that. Eddie Islas has absolutely fired an incredible shot in this war, and I don't know how it's going to end, but I absolutely know that this is far, far from over. Thank you so much for joining us here at SoCal Pro Wrestling Title versus Career. And folks, we're just getting started.
All right, folks, I have a very special announcement before we go ahead and break here just for a few minutes. Somebody is celebrating a birthday today. Where's Mickey at? Is it, we have a Mickey in the audience here. Hi, Mickey. How are you? Everybody stand up. Hi, Mickey. Mickey, how old are you today? Mickey is turning 9 years old, and she is celebrating here tonight at SoCal Pro. And Mickey, something you are going to learn about us here at SoCal Pro is we are not just fans, we are not just wrestlers and really good-looking announcers. We are a family, and that means everybody here, I want to hear a big happy birthday song for Mickey. All right, is everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. In honor of birthdays, I have a very special announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, next month at SoCal Pro, women's wrestling does return. We will see the world-renowned Ruby Reyes making her SoCal Pro return as she squares off against our very own Adrian Diamond here in July. And before we go on to our raffle, keep in mind, folks, we are giving away, and I mean giving away, a replica belt with autographs on it. This will only happen tonight, so please make sure that you hit those merchandise tables. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much. SoCal Pro returns in just 10 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming SoCal Pro's very own Judas. Judas, tonight you challenged Mathias for the SoCal Pro Heavyweight Championship. He said that you're trying to take the spotlight away from him. What's your response?
Obviously, Mathias is delusional. Like, let's keep it a buck, G. You weren't even in the main event tonight, and I'm still in your spotlight, my guy? Look, you might be the heavyweight champion, and you just had your first title defense, but that spotlight has to be earned. Top of the mountain, you gotta solidify that, bro. And me, everybody know that I've already done that. So I'm not stealing nothing from him. It's something that I've earned and something I'm gonna keep.
You've been earning the spotlight for your 10-year career here that started at SoCal Pro, and Mathias said that he wants to end that career. Why were you willing to put your career on the line for this match?
It took a lot of fight, a lot of grit in my match tonight with B-Boy. And B-Boy, he's war tested. And now I know that I'm war ready. To get the ultimate goal of wrestling JTG, I need to be champion one more time. My confidence is at an all-time high, even after 15 months away from the ring. Mathias, 10 years, I've stamped my name on SoCal Pro. Longest reigning heavyweight champion, 2-time Rumble winner, Golden State champion, tag team champion. My career ain't over, bro. There is no way in hell that you're gonna end something that I put so much hard work, so much sacrifice, blood, sweat, and tears into this. I will walk out as the 4-time SoCal Pro heavyweight champion. You know it, and all them fans know it. And I will earn my shot with JTG.
King me, this is in the blood, I'ma let it run free. I was born to rule, I'ma be me. Anybody try to rise and defeat me, I shut them down easy. King me, I was born to rule. King me, I was born to rule.
Ladies and gentlemen, your SoCal Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion, Mathias. Mathias, congrats on your heavyweight title defense tonight. Tonight, you were called out by Judas. And in that challenge, you said that you would end his career. Why will you end his career next month?
Why? Because he's coming to take what I earned, what I worked years for. And he's being selfish, coming back after 15 months, playing daddy at home. No, he's coming to take my world. I'm gonna take his first.
King me, this is in the blood, I'ma let it run free. I was born to rule, I'ma be me. Anybody try to rise and defeat me, I shut them down easy. King me, I was born to rule. King me, I was born to rule.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is for the SoCal Pro Tag Team Championship.
Here comes the struggle, here comes the danger. Send by the Savior, welcome the Rastafari. I and I start to crew, so Judge Priscilla, I am your eyes. Here comes the trouble, here comes the danger. Welcome the Savior, welcome the Rastafari. You're not for oxygen, at the general issue in a morning. Your people in a mind, see them here.
stream. Thank you so much as we return to SoCal Pro title versus career.
Introducing first, the challengers from St. Sam, Jamaica, weighing in a total combined weight of 327 pounds, Hayden and Anthony Kentish, the Wild Jamaicans! And their opponents from Tijuana, Mexico, at a total combined weight of 170 kilos, they are the hottest tag team in El Mundo and your SoCal Pro Tag Team Champions, Bamboo, El Rey, the Lucha!
And you can hear the ovation from our SoCal Pro fans for the royalty, the SoCal Pro Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Kings, who fresh off their stint in Japan have absolutely earned that crown. And the SoCal Pro fans also giving it up for the Wild Jamaicans, Anthony and Hayden. And it looks like the competition has already started as the Lucha Kings are trying to gauge the audience reaction, and unfortunately I think that's a losing battle for the Wild Jamaicans.
The Wild Jamaicans, although appear to be fan favorites, at least when they first came out here, but of course they're going against the Lucha Kings. It's going to be difficult to win over the crowd with El Rey and El Bamboo. Listen to this. It's not even close, unfortunately, for these two newcomers here at SoCal Pro.
Gonna be honest, they could throw out $100 bills and I think they'd still lose the cheering contest.
The Lucha Kings definitely proving their point here as El Rey, Bamboo just coming in and dominating the SoCal Pro Wrestling tag team scene. Only seen by one other team ever to do that before, and that was, of course, Anchors Away, the greatest tag team in the history of SoCal Pro.
Absolutely. Hey, you look a lot like the guy that was in Anchors Away.
Yeah, well, you know, I've gained a little weight since then. Gained a little weight, lost a little hair. Nevertheless, the tag team championship match that is to come is definitely going to be probably one of the most explosive tag team matches we've ever seen here at SoCal Pro, as the Wild Jamaicans definitely have their work cut out for them. Starting things off here with El Bamboo and Hayden Kentish. Ring that bell as we get underway. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our semi-main event. It is worth noting that both of our semi-main and our main event are both for some prestigious championships here at SoCal Pro. Again, Hayden is going to do every single thing he can to possibly get into the head of El Bamboo, but of course this is not going to be a very easy task by any means. Somebody always has to take the most aggressive role here in any wrestling contest. Doesn't matter how well favored they are with the crowd, and that is going to be on the shoulders today of the Wild Jamaicans. You got to figure they have to be a little bit more aggressive, as they don't have anything to lose if they do not win this match. They are no worse going out as they are coming in. However, the Lucha Kings definitely have a lot on the line, as they need to keep not only their reputation but also their championship belts, where they were able to keep on their waist all the way out through their entire Japanese tour.
Well, you talk about aggression. And the Wild Jamaicans were brought from Jamaica by Alpha, the Wild Samoan. It's hard to find more aggression than that.
And if that wasn't enough, obviously gracing their presence also was Booker T, trained also out of Santino Brothers in Southern California. El Bamboo going up to his feet, big crossbody, perhaps the Elita. Down goes Hayden Kentish, running out of big sweep to the legs, into the cover. Not quite all of it there. Big sweep to Bamboo into the cover. Not quite all of it there either. Both men back on their feet, and listen to this crowd give their appreciation
And the way that Bamboo moves, it's just like a superhero. You saw him waving the finger for the arm drag attempt. You have to try a lot harder than just an arm drag to get one over on the Lucha Kings, as now El Rey enters the fray.
This crowd has not wavered. They have not swindled. They have not dwindled their support. Lucha Kings haven't been here for a solid 2 months. Still, this crowd is absolutely 100% behind these two young men from Tijuana.
They know that they've been overseas. That's why we haven't seen them in the past couple months, honing their craft. Honing their craft in Japan.
Anthony Kenta seems to have a little bit more of luck in there with El Rey. Not quite getting all of that chop that his brother Hayden did with Bamboo. And that's how you do it. El Rey now knife edge chop to the chest of Anthony Kentish. Grab sending him into the buckle. Big reversal there. In goes El Rey up to the top. What is this here? Big high cross body. As El Rey goes into the pin, only a count of 2. Again, this crowd ever so obviously behind the Lucha Kings. Very few have ever been able to electrify a crowd quite like the Lucha Kings does. Wow, big boot and a line at the exact same time.
Very few people, very few teams, anybody has been so consistently tearing the house down with match of the night candidates like the Lucha Kings. It's hard to, it's hard not to see why the crowd is so electrified by these two.
Big knee to the face goes El Rey, followed up by a line by Bamboo. Down goes Hayden Kentish, big knees, and big. Doy followed in as Bamboo now on top.
Machine gun-like offense of the Lucha Kings. It's very hard to get at the upper hand when you have consistent knees to the face, like Hayden just had.
Anthony Kentish going up, landing on his feet as the Wild Jamaicans double team now. Nice chop in tandem. Nice double leg drop. Down goes the Wild Jamaicans. Big, beautiful assisted moonsault.
Anthony providing the base for his brother Hayden. And you can tell that they're brothers. They have that almost telekinetic link between the two of them. They barely need to communicate at all. They're just on the same page inherently.
Tag team wrestling is absolutely dependent on your chemistry. The Lucha Kings have plenty of it, but if anybody can match the chemistry of the Lucha Kings, it's brothers like this, although not in a very precarious or not in a very advantageous position at this point. Oh my goodness, I spoke too soon. As this match goes back and forth, the Wild Jamaicans now back on top of this tag team championship contest.
We've seen the Lucha Kings perform that double team move so often that it appears that the Wild Jamaicans have scouted them out. And it'll be very interesting to see if that know-how translates to the victory, and you saying the words "and new" after this match.
That would be an absolute upset. I will tell you that the Lucha Kings have held on to these championships, I want to say over a year at this point. They have not yet been vested for those belts. And who's to say that the Wild Jamaicans couldn't do it? I will say that every time the Lucha Kings take on a new opponent or a new set of opponents, people are coming closer and closer. I will say the Wild Jamaicans are definitely in line to perhaps take those belts away from the Lucha Kings. Anthony Kentish now on top. Big, again, knife edge chop to the chest of Bamboo, tag into Hayden.
And we've seen that knife edge chop all night. Knife edge chop, not something that's going to win you the match, but it's something that's going to wear down the opponent and absolutely make you think twice about getting up again when you feel that searing pain on your chest.
I don't know if you saw that, but there was appeared to be a spit in the face and a paintbrush on the face of El Rey. Oh, now distracting the referee again to the detriment as the Wild Jamaicans, look at this now. Having the respect of the crowd was very short-lived as Hayden is now in there. His brother Anthony onto the outside. And it would be foolish to assume that that was anything less than a little bit scummy, in my opinion.
Definitely a little bit scummy, but definitely got to do what you got to do, I guess, if you want to walk out with the SoCal Pro Tag Team Championships.
When championships are on the line. Wow, oh my goodness. Nearly anything. And speaking of which, into the cover now. 2.
Oh God, I was worried after that angle. It almost looked like Bamboo didn't have a head anymore after that kick.
And speaking of doing anything, ladies and gentlemen, still to come, our very next event will be career versus title, as Dizz could be facing his very last moments here at SoCal Pro. It's go big or go home. That is coming up in our very next contest. It's going to be difficult to follow this up, but if anybody can do it, it will be the Black Rose and the ass-kicking machine.
You want to talk about go big or go home? It looks like we're going to see a double superplex from the Wild Jamaicans onto Bamboo.
No, as well, Jamaicans get pushed off by Bamboo. Bamboo now up the top, double cross body, taking the head off nearly of Anthony and Hayden Kentish, going in for the double line, duck that, onto the top again. Big, beautiful double cutter. As Bamboo, all he needs to do is get that strength to tag in his partner.
Tag in the partner, cover, do something, but all he's done is just sit there. He took a huge fall from that cutter. Like you said, go big, go home. This is SoCal Pro Wrestling, title versus career.
As all 4 men, or as 3 of the 4 men are now down, everything is going to depend on the ability to make that tag, and he gets it in. El Rey comes in. Down goes Hayden, down goes Anthony, and down goes Hayden again. Perhaps big tilt-a-whirl, back body drop, or backbreaker, another backbreaker. It's lost.
It's happening so fast you can barely keep up. El Rey is a house of fire in there.
El Rey comes back, big, beautiful double elite as both men go down. El Rey, listen to this crowd following behind. It's hard to even hear yourself think.
What?
El Rey now, all he has to do is capitalize on everything he has just done. Picking up Hayden, bringing him back down to the buckles. What are we going to see here?
Big knife fist chop, but you saw El Rey looking behind him. It looks like he's setting himself up for something big.
Fireman carry into the slam, into the cover. Only a count of 2 is, look at that, but 2.5. If Anthony Kentish didn't come in there and save his brother, we very well have seen the Lucha Kings victorious here tonight.
And you hear the crowd chanting, Trace, Trace. They think it was 3. They think that our referee, just in case, absolutely was counting a little bit slow there.
Oh my goodness, a big knee to the face, and then a boot to the face, an elbow to the face, another boot to the face. As we are seeing so many shots to the face. Down goes El Rey. Into the roll-up now. Big double stop onto Hayden Kentish. Anthony Kentish, the big boot to the face. Turning around here, big trouble here, missing the line. Up he goes, big power slam. As El Rey gets the better of that one, all 4 men down, and these fans have gone bananas here at SoCal Pro in Vista.
I'm sorry, I have to clean out my ears from that cannon fire of those bombs that were just hit by the 4 men in the ring right now.
Listen to the crowd, they are chanting, "This is awesome." As always, SoCal Pro does everything they can to give you the best possible show ever, thanks to the skills, the tenacity, the absolute fortitude of young men like these 4. An incredible contest, a formidable match, an absolute amazing event. Ladies and gentlemen, you will never get anything quite like SoCal Pro.
You'll never get anything quite like SoCal Pro, and you'll never see anything quite like our SoCal Pro Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Kings, as they've got Hayden in a very precarious position.
Oh my goodness.
A huge backstabber from that Tower of Doom.
While Jamaicans now back on top. Oh my goodness, that is a very unique move. They cover this could be over. Into the count, 2. Only a count of 2, Bamboo barely making that save.
And it seems that our fans can't even get it straight. Some are chanting Trace, some are chanting Dose, but all I know is I wanted this to keep continuing.
Unquestionably one of the most exciting tag team championships we've ever seen here at SoCal Pro.
Mas por favor.
In tandem, both boots to the face as the Lucha Kings go back into the corners. Big lines, knees, boots, roll-ups, big cutters in tandem. Down go the wild Jamaicans. Hayden now in trouble. And if they hit this, this is over as Hayden is in no man's land on top of the shoulders.
Huge cutter from almost 8 feet in the air.
All he's got to do is make the cover. What is going on here? Is the referee distracted? 2, 3, and it's over.
Here are your winners, and still SoCal Pro Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Kings!
What an amazing contest we just saw from the Lucha Kings as we see one more time the move that put it away. Driving his head into the mat. As unfortunately, while Hayden showed absolute great determination throughout the entire match, it's very hard to get one over on the Lucha Kings, who have absolutely deserved the epithet, and still SoCal Pro Tag Team Champions. Is there anyone who can topple the Lucha Kings? And if there is, I haven't seen them. For those of us who've joined on the live stream, thank you so much for joining us this evening at SoCal Pro Wrestling Title versus Career. And now, next up is the titular match and our main event as the ass-kicking machine Mathias puts his title on the line against the Black Rose, Dizz, who's putting his career, his livelihood on the line. But for now, on your screen, El Rey, Bamboo, the Lucha Kings, and still Tag Team Champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your main event of the evening.
Do I doubt myself? Not in the slightest. Am I confident in my abilities? I always have been. Been gone for 15 months. But that feeling I got when I hit that curtain, the electricity that ran through my veins when I heard my music, when I could see the lights and smell the smoke, I can't leave. I will not leave over my goddamn body. I am not going nowhere. 10 years in this, you best believe I got another 10 years to go. How could you be so stupid to put your career on the line against me?
The man that's been dominating SoCal Pro for the last 15 months, when you've been sitting home playing daddy. Title versus career. No disqualifications. And still, SoCal Pro Heavyweight Champion. I meant every word I said to you in that ring. I'm gonna end your career and start mine in the ring that almost made you famous. I'm gonna kick your ass up and down that building. Say goodbye to Julius. Young brother from the cutter, always been a fighter, never been a cutter. Mama was a hunter, daddy was a hunter, all my brothers hunt each other. Don't a knuckle up and uppercut, a slugger, punch a snuffer, stutter, thugger, gunner, stutter, stutter, sputter. You gon' do the Brooklyn, pucker, kinda drummer. Father thought I was a parasite, and mama belly, but he had it wrong. He knew we had a spawn, never born, Lord, till the 9 months I was born. In black, strong body, till the brawn. I'm a big king, killing all the porn. Better be informed when I blow the horn, bringing in the dust, waking up the dawn, looking at the call. Prophesized by the shaman voodoo. Seen it all through the eye of horrors that I watch and view through. There was other warriors before me, but they not this voodoo. All this money, but I'm not Mabuzu. You don't know me, you forgot, now you do. Shaka Zulu, Shaka Zulu, Shaka Zulu, Shaka Zulu. My name is Shaka Zulu. I'm at the top of Google. I got the power on me. I wanna cause salute you. Here comes Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu. My name is Shaka Zulu. I'm at the top of Google. I got the power on you. I wanna cause salute you. I'm a lion when he cries. I'm a tiger on the prowl. Call the firefighter. I got fire in my past. Still a rifle with the ride. Banana clip ready. It's always reckless when it's pride. Put a titan in the crowd. Put a diamond in the crown. With a title on me down. I recite it and I'm proud. Shaka Zulu. Fire come a barbecue. Something happened to my mama. Cuckoo. Block, 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 boom, boom. Don't need a Glock to shoot you. If you black enough, the cops to shoot you. You Apollo, they gon' rock it to you. You a Judah, they gon' cost us you. You cannot rocks like Wushu. Be the wigger out of socks and boo. If you wicked, I cannot recruit you.
Hear the SoCal Pro Wrestling fans? They absolutely know they're seeing something special tonight.
The contest is title versus career and is no disqualification. Introducing first, the challenger from San Francisco, California. Weighing 225 pounds, the Black Rose,
This match possible that one will walk out without a career. As Dizz appears to have shaken off the sneak attack and is already fighting back against the ass-kicking machine Mathias. 15 months, I should say, out of the ring, and it seems like Dizz hasn't lost a single step. I'm sorry to be shouting, but this crowd has not quieted down. This crowd has not quieted down since the entrance music hit.
Dizz obviously having a lot on the line. You can argue that a championship is incredibly important, and for you to put your entire career on the line is certainly a testament to that. There's only, as far as I'm concerned, one person in this building who understands the situation that Dizz is in. And this is exactly the mistake that I made before I unfortunately left this business prematurely. And as Dizz, while I understand why he is doing what he is doing, I can't help but feel that he might have made a grave mistake, considering that Mathias is probably one of the most, if not the most ruthless SoCal Pro Tag Team Champions in recent existence.
Dizz definitely has the deck stacked against him, but you know the smell of the game just as much as anyone else. And like you said, you put your career on the line, just like Dizz did. And would you have done anything differently now?
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. I'd probably,
all right,
I might still be wrestling, who knows? I'd be a lot thinner, that's for sure. Dizz now going into the neck breaker, into the cover.
Really snuffed out my point, just like Dizz slammed Mathias onto the mat right now.
I don't know if you noticed, but Mathias is definitely not taking this match lightly either. Granted, regardless of if Mathias wins or loses, he is coming back next month. There's no question about Mathias's return. Now, whether or not he returns back with a championship remains to be seen. Nice big punch in the corner. Listen to this capacity crowd as Mathias pushes Dizz off. Into the buckle goes Mathias. And back in to finish it off, perhaps restarting one. There you go.
And it's very interesting. I think this is the most aggressive we've seen Dizz, and this may be something he has to do to even slow down Mathias.
This appears to be in vain as Mathias just picks up and easily puts down Dizz. You're talking about a clearance of at least 5.5 feet onto the floor, onto that real hard floor.
No pads here at SoCal Pro Wrestling. If you go to the outside, it is at your own peril. But in this match, no disqualifications, no countouts. The only way to win is by pinning your opponent in that ring.
Right up Mathias' alley, as we've seen definitely an aggressive, more nasty side of Dizz. In a couple months ago, we saw that, but again, nothing like this. Look at that man. And I don't know if you noticed, but Mathias, to me, easily has packed on, in the last recent couple months, easily an extra 20 or so pounds.
He is looking bigger than he ever has, and he was already huge to begin with.
The man is gigantic, and if you ever see his workout routine, if you ever see his dedication to that gym, it is just, look at that as a slingshot. Dizz goes into the ring post.
Now, it's no laughing matter, but I've heard that when Mathias does push-ups, he doesn't push himself up, he pushes the earth down.
That's right. Matter of fact, Mathias is probably one of the most, if not the most. Look at that. Again, now second look as Dizz face plants into that pose. But like I was saying, Mathias is definitely probably the most naturally, genetically gifted person here. What are we setting up here as a table?
Some say it's genetics. I think it's just an unhuman work ethic. That's all he does. Gym, eat, destroy, back to the gym.
Mathias now, perhaps, I was going to say skipping that table, but no, what are we going to see here? This is not good. It's
not to the outside.
Oh my goodness, as Dizz was inches away.
Every single person is on their feet here at SoCal Pro. As Mathias is now teetering dangerously close to that ring.
Mathias now going on for the grip strength, and Mathias holding true. Inching his way just barely off of crashing through that table. And folks, make no mistake about it, that table is as hard as a rock, just as that floor is. What are we gonna see here now? Mathias is, again, gonna find every single possible way he can to take advantage of Dizz. Oh my goodness, what an incredible feat of strength by Mathias. That is why they call him the ass-kicking machine. Machine being the operative word here. Going in for the cover. 2.
Just deadlifting Dizz over the ropes.
And you can see it with this crowd. This crowd is not just having a good time. They're on their feet because they are concerned. They know they very well could be witnessing the last 10, 15, 20 minutes, perhaps even 5 minutes of Dizz's career here. And it's literally go big or go home.
Regardless of who wins, who takes home the title, these fans know they're witnessing something special tonight, just as you are, everyone who's tuned into our live stream this evening.
History is being made here at SoCal Pro, as only SoCal Pro can deliver. Mathias still back on track, back on the offense here, picking up Dizz. Big strikes, elbows to the face. The crowd obviously not very fond of Mathias, and Mathias not very fond of the crowd, so I guess the feeling is mutual.
Well, you heard Mathias himself. He wants to not only beat Dizz, he wants to end his career. He wants to take that away from Dizz.
Mathias feeds on not only negative energy, but literally the discontent, the hatred of the people around him. That is what fuels him to keep going, which is absolutely sick, in my opinion.
That backbreaker into that second rope elbow drop, and now it looks like Dizz is going for the sharpshooter a la Bret Hart, who is, he told me in the back, one of his idols growing up was Bret Hart, the Hitman.
I have known Dizz for the better part of a decade. I believe I was there for his first in-ring practice at SoCal Pro. Him and his partner Joe Gamble entered in as a tag team, and now Dizz is proving everything he can on his own. Former champion, absolute formidable opponent. Maybe not enough as the ass-kicking machine still back on top.
And to keep our PG rating, I will not be repeating what the SoCal Pro fans are chanting at Mathias, but you can say that he is not a fan favorite.
As anybody would be, as Dizz is absolutely beloved by this crowd, not only here, but in San Diego. Both men having a small stint in their opportunities in AEW. They have gotten to work many different people all across the country. As Mathias brings Dizz closer and closer back to no man's land, that table made of wood and steel, as the ass-kicking machine is trying his best to dramatically put a permanent end into the career of the Black Rose.
Mathias absolutely has his gardening shears. It looks like Dizz is just even the odds with a steel chair.
And you heard that all the way throughout Vista, Oceanside, Escondido, you name a city, they heard it. That, my friends, was louder than a bomb as the Black Rose back on the offense, taking it to the ass-kicking machine.
You've seen the aggression that Mathias has taken to Dizz, and Dizz is absolutely giving it back in equal measure.
Calling for one more chair shot on the back of Mathias, winds up. Oh my goodness! Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, in goes the Black Rose with a follow-up.
And Andrew, my ears are ringing from the sound of that. I can't imagine how Mathias's back feels.
The machine is coming apart as Dizz improvises with some wood and steel of his own, taking Mathias now to the stage. And again, Dizz got the position he's in because he was so methodical, because he was so cunning. Oh my goodness!
Just tossed like a sack of potatoes. down our entrance ramp.
As Dizz now giving the signal, saying, getting up, get up, Mathias, get up, as he charges into Mathias. Big elbow into the throat of Mathias, as Mathias' back of the head just barely misses that table behind him. Let's not forget that table is still in play. And right now, Dizz is selected as the favorite perhaps to outcome the winner and victorious of this match until that happened. And again, no disqualifications. What are you gonna possibly do?
I'll tell you what Mathias is gonna do. Mathias is gonna do everything that he can to take away the livelihood of Dizz, and that's why these fans have been chanting that towards Mathias. That is why Dizz is fighting with everything he has to hold on to his career, despite being hit across the spine with a steel chair.
Mathias now bringing in, look at this, and now just sitting down, admiring his work. Is this sick son of a gun, Mathias? Again, not giving a care, not only not giving a care, but relishing in the fact of what he's doing to this man. This man has kids, for God's sakes. Oh my goodness! And you can talk about the will for a championship, you can talk about a will not to lose, but look at this, this is not will, this is not about belts, this is not about a victory. This is about his sick seduction. This is about his sick fetish in loving the treatment of others, the absolute disgusting treatment of others. Is this wicked son of a bitch will do anything here to make these fans absolutely hate him. And believe me, I share in their sentiment.
Mathias absolutely revels in the punishment. He revels in the pain. He brings joy. That is the only thing I've ever seen bring a smile to Mathias' face, is inflicting harm on others. Otherwise, it's just anger and muscle.
He is a machine, no doubt about it, as Mathias is having choice words with the crowd. I wouldn't pick a fight with him if I was in the front row, that's for sure.
Unfortunately, Dizz has already picked a fight with Mathias, and you've seen how that's turned out.
Look at this capacity crowd. They're literally standing on their feet. People are not sitting for this contest. As people are on their feet. As Dizz comes back. Big backflip on his feet. Going back. Into a bookend. Now down goes Mathias. As Dizz, all he needs to do is capitalize and stay on top. But my goodness, his throat, his back, his knees, everything must be screaming within an inch of his life as Dizz, the Black Rose, has little left to give, but he must muster everything he can, because if he doesn't, that means he's walking out of here without ever coming back. This is it! And as we get closer and closer, as the end comes closer and closer to either one of these gentlemen, the reality is setting in. That Dizz is running out of options. He is running out of hope. He is running out of pathways. He must find something that he hasn't found yet and dig deeper than he's ever dug to put an end to the reign of terror that is the ass-kicking machine.
Big right hands, big left hands, rights, lefts, dropping bombs on the face of Mathias. Dizz isn't out of this competition yet. Dizz isn't ready to hang up the boots. Dizz is looking to add another belt to his trophy case.
As Dizz reaches in for the love and support of his fans, big European uppercut. Big elbow followed up into the buckle, calling for one more as Dizz comes in. A big knee to the face.
Look at the face of Dizz. He is in his element right now. It has been 15 long months. We saw him last month, and he has not lost a step. He is ready for what Mathias has to give, and he is going to give it back twofold here tonight.
Dizz now cinching up Mathias on that top rope, looking for this belly to back. Look at Mathias damn near bounced all the way to the ceiling here in the Boys and Girls Club. As Dizz is back on top.
That is a lot of mass.
This cover could do it here. Two.
That was a lot of mass coming off the top rope. almost burning up on re-entry, like an asteroid hitting the mat, and then you saw him bounce almost a foot in the air. The power between these two is insane.
Dizz digging in to everything he has now, knowing what's on the line, but nevertheless is on top. If Dizz can keep this momentum, he has a possibility, a real possibility of walking out of here the new SoCal Pro Heavyweight Champion. Listen to this crowd. Let's go, Dizz.
Dizz looking for that big top rope elbow drop.
Mathias back to his feet. Dizz jumps over. Big boot to the oncoming Mathias. Running in, big elbow now. Dizz back into the rope. Big elbow or big line. Does Mathias hit Dizz? Cuts him right back off. Mathias back on top. Oh my goodness, big power slam, down goes Dizz. And don't tell me this is it. Oh no, this could be it here. 1, 2.
2.9 as Dizz gets the shoulder off the mat, working purely off instinct.
As everything we see, everything is coming down to these pivotal moments. And every single pin is one step closer in either direction. My heart can't take it anymore. Again, this man has kids. This man has years to give. We're not talking about somebody who's injured. We're not talking about somebody who's old. We're talking about somebody who has a lot left in the tank. And for him to walk out of here and not fulfill his destiny to become the next SoCal Pro Heavyweight Champion, let alone not even be back in these buildings, is absolutely heartbreaking. We need to see Dizz take this victory tonight.
You've mentioned it. He has years to give. He still has years left in the tank, and to have it have it end prematurely would be one of the biggest tragedies that SoCal Pro Wrestling has ever seen. But Dizz is going to work till he drops to make sure that doesn't happen.
Go behind after go behind after go behind, reversals. Roll him up now.
Counter roll.
Only the count of 1 as Dizz gets sent to the corner, missing the line there. Up on the shoulders goes Dizz. We've seen this before.
No!
Oh my goodness, and that's it.
No!
That could be it. Oh my goodness, as Dizz kicks out. By God, believable as Dizz found something, and I don't know what it was, but he found something deep within himself to kick out of that, and even Mathias is saying, how could that possibly have happened?
Few people, if any, I can't remember any that have ever kicked out of that move from Mathias. He's put in away so many people. That's the move that won him the SoCal Pro Heavyweight Championship. That's the move. The grit, the determination, the drive, the resiliency of Dizz is insane.
Oh my goodness, what the hell is that? Come the hell on, dude, don't do that.
That, Andrew, is an 8-pound sledgehammer being wielded like a toothpick by Mathias.
What does he think he's doing?
Well,
have some sort of humanity, for Christ's sakes. Now back on the shoulders of Dizz.
And Dizz hitting Mathias with a taste of his own medicine. 1, 2.
That's it. Now we thought that was it. And we were about to celebrate. We saw the timekeeper damn near ring that bell. The announcement was just made, or was almost just made, as neither Dizz nor Mathias can put the final nail in the coffin.
And you see Dizz, Mathias put it into play, and Dizz is going to do everything to scratch and claw his career out of the clutches of Mathias.
Dizz is going to have to make a decision here. Is Dizz going to put himself down to the level of a Mathias and use this weapon against his opponent as Dizz? And all he has to do is strike. That's all he has to do.
And at the end of the day, Andy, you have to see the question being asked by Dizz, is it worth it?
Dizz caught Mathias there with a big strike to the knee. psyching Mathias out. Not using that sledgehammer. Drop kick to the outside. Down goes the ass-kicking machine over the barricade.
Send Mathias all the way to the over the barricade into the crowd. As Judas is going up top.
Gosh.
Judas is gonna fly.
Oh my
To the
God!
outside. Judas putting caution to the wind, body on the line as he somersaults off the top rope. That is over 10 feet in the air.
Onto the sternum of Mathias, and if something is going to take out Mathias, that's going to be it. And Dizz, all he has to do is get him back in that ring and make that cover. We still have a sledgehammer in the ring. We have a table on the outside.
We've seen Judas take pages out of Bret Hart's book. That was a page out of Rob Van Dam's book. Judas is living the dream of professional wrestling, and Judas is going to be damned if he lets anyone take that dream away from him, especially Mathias.
Unbelievable as that big elbow has finished off so many competitors here at SoCal Pro. But Mathias is not any competitor here at SoCal Pro. This is why he is a machine. This is why he is the man to potentially end the career of Dizz. This is why Mathias is your current heavyweight champion.
We've seen almost the entire arsenal out of both of these competitors. What is it going to take to find the victor here tonight? We've seen everything Mathias can throw at Judas. We've seen everything Judas can throw at Mathias, and neither man is going down.
Listen to everybody calling for tables as Dizz, again, a man of the people, wanting to deliver, bringing out a second table into play, much to the delight of this crowd. And that table is an equalizer for sure. If Dizz could put Mathias through that table, if he could put Mathias through that structure, if he can introduce Mathias to that pile of wood and steel, that might be enough to get Dizz into a position to walk out of here as our new SoCal Pro Heavyweight Champion.
And Mathias, this is the wobbliest I've ever seen Mathias. Mathias has taken the most punishment I think he's ever taken in his career as Judas is calling for it.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh my goodness!
A huge slam as the referee counted 2.
Did you see that reversal?
It gets closer and closer to 3. I think if we count the frames, it is only a few before that referee's hand was going to touch the mat. And you can hear the strain it took from Judas to raise his shoulder off the mat.
You can feel the tension in this crowd tonight. We're seeing reversals. We're seeing moves that we hadn't seen before. We're seeing a table that is about to be used. Wow. What a despicable human being is Mathias.
For those of you that didn't hear, Mathias, with the limp, lifeless Judas, said all of you wanted this. No, Mathias, you wanted this.
What an absolute piece of garbage is Mathias. Again, we're talking about somebody who has a family, who has children, who has put in 10 plus years into this company. As Mathias gets reversed, Dizz now with the pump handle perhaps. Up he goes into the GTS. Dizz now back on top, but not within the wherewithal or the recovery to cover now.
You saw Dizz stumble backwards. That was almost 4 seconds that he was left sitting on the ropes trying to gather himself. If he had covered, that would have been it, Andrew.
That table now getting set up into the corner. It has gone horizontal. The legs are open, and this is a very dangerous position for both of these contenders. As Dizz, he absolutely has to hit this. He can't afford to miss. As that table, you can see it almost buckling under the weight of Mathias just laying on it. The sheer size of Mathias' Dizz.
Setting it up almost like a guillotine as he's going for that rock. Oh no. Andy, I don't think that was something Mathias planned to do, but that is something that Mathias can definitely capitalize, as Dizz is now in an incredibly precarious position, and it just got more precarious. It just got more dangerous for Dizz as Mathias has picked up that sledgehammer.
A sledgehammer into the face goes Dizz. Oh my goodness.
Dizz is now hanging limp across the top rope. Dizz has been knocked out by that 8-pound sledgehammer.
Dizz seeing stars, maybe not even knowing where he is as Mathias picks him up. Oh no, not like this.
Mathias has him up on the second rope.
We're talking about a finishing move onto the table. Oh my goodness, as the legs of Dizz clips that table. One. And Mathias, if he had hit Dizz square across that table like he was intending, that Dizz very well might have fallen victim to it. Dizz able to sneak away from that, not getting all of it there. As Mathias visually upset, frustrated.
And it looks like Mathias is eyeing up that second table on the outside.
It's not over till it's over. You're talking about one more table still in play as Mathias puts it back into the ring. And that first table wasn't enough to put Dizz away, but this one certainly will be.
Mathias has evil intentions. Mathias has nothing but malice in his eyes as he sets up that table right in front of Dizz.
We don't know what's happening here. We have no idea what's about to happen here, but whatever it is, very well could be the ending. The very end of this match. The ending of so much more.
It could be the end of the match. It could be the end of Dizz's career as Mathias sets him up on the top rope.
Going in perhaps for a powerbomb, yes. And if he hits this, it's over. Oh my God!
Straight through the table!
No! No! I can't believe it.
And with the count of 3 and the ring of the bell, Mathias has retained his championship.
Winner, and still SoCal Pro Heavyweight Champion, Mathias!
And as we watch the replay, it's not often you get a replay of the end of someone's career, but that is what you're looking at there. Mathias standing over Dizz.
And ladies and gentlemen,
Mathias walks out with the SoCal Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, and Dizz walks home without a career. I'm sorry.
ladies and gentlemen, we have not. I can't tell you the feeling in this building right now. I cannot tell you the feeling in this building right now. This is not how we envision the ending of Dizz, of Julius. This man deserves so much more than this. And Mathias, I hope to God you're proud of yourself. You piece of garbage.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here at SoCal Pro Wrestling Title versus Career. As it appears that we've gotten the answer to that question. Dizz is now trying to pick himself up after this match. Appears that he's still stuck in the wreckage of that table. Our ring crew freeing Dizz from the wreckage of that table.
love you, Jew.
I want to thank every single last one of y'all for an amazing career. I put a lot of hard work, dedication, time away from my family. I've missed holidays, I've missed weddings, to live my dream. And I want to let every one of y'all know, whatever your dream is, you can do it. You can do whatever you want to do in your life. I've been a fan of wrestling since I was 4 years old, and I've been able to do things little Julius would have never imagined. From wrestling in the Cow Palace, where I went to my first live show, to wrestling in Mexico City against Juventud Guerrera, I've wrestled my idols like Too Cold Scorpio, legends like Gangrel. There's so many people that played a role in my life, in my career. Every last one of you guys. Jeff, thank you for taking a shot on me when I was too scared to do it myself. Idol, thank you for pushing me to be the best I could be, even when I had no confidence. B-Boy, thank you for taking my abilities to the next level when I had no confidence. Everybody that's around this ring, you got the talent to go way farther than I ever did. One last thing. This is never, ever possible without two people. Joe Campbell, my brother. I love you, dog. He pulled me off the couch when I just wanted to play WWE 2K. He said, get off the couch and go live it, dude. And my beautiful wife, Anita, I love you so much. Mr. and Mrs. Grant, thank you so much for all the love, the support throughout 10 years. None of this is possible without you, baby. I love you. And for my very last moment in the ring that I started in, the ring I took my first bump, I want to share this ring with my family. Y'all please come to the ring. Come on. Finish what I started. All right? I want to thank you guys. Thank you. Mommy's coming.
All right, folks, Judas will be at the merchandise table if you want to say goodbye to him one last time. I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. And Judas, thank you. Thank you for everything. Good night. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.